thank you so much for everything. Thank you to all the speakers and everything that you contributed. I think Suzanne and I sat down with a few people some months back. We did this kind of random consultation of what would you like from Grove and what would you like from a conference? And we got the feeling that just as Grove books are bite-sized and you know, a little keyhole or a window into something much bigger, something like that at conference level or meeting level would really work. So we have tried to gather as many of the most exciting, sorry if you were not asked, it's not that you're not excited. we did try really hard to gather the most exciting speakers, and for me it's just been such a pleasure to sit and to listen in new ways. Some of the things that we've read already in Grove books, but hearing brings it alive in a different way. And then indeed Alicia, who's ultimately going to have to write this book, bringing to the day, you know, a platform for what's to come as well. So we hope it's been a bite-sized, brief shot and look at what goes on across the series. Sometimes we become so insular and we think, well, I'm part of this series, and that becomes our baby, and we really nurture it, and we read all the books that come from that series. But it's really good to see how, in fact, coincidentally, without even talking to each other, a lot of our talkers, our speakers have given talks that have just happened to link together. We have had a lot about the body of Christ, disembodiment, we've had the hybrid talk, we've had the intercultural topics popping up across our talk. So it's been fantastic to see how God works in mysterious ways beyond the control of me on Excel trying to schedule everybody correctly. So thank you so much to all of our speakers, to those who have joined us online as well. We are trying to embody this hybrid lifestyle. We're in a world that is so unfamiliar. In fact, you don't know what you're going to wake up to the next day. And so on to the topic of the future. It would be really silly of me to stand here and come up with any plan, because let's face it, everybody has been through enough U-turns this week and in this last season. So I don't have any sure plans, but we are in a season where the world is changing, and it's changing quickly. We are in a world that it both loves labels and despises being labelled. So we don't understand at the moment when we throw around the word evangelical. Tim and I had a discussion at lunch. He said, would you describe yourself as evangelical? I said, maybe other people wouldn't know, or stood next to some people in this room. I wouldn't be classed as evangelical, but stood next to some of my friends who are much more high church or Anglo-Catholic, they would say, I'm a raging evangelical. So labels are really difficult, and we know that we have a good history in what was evangelicalism at the time, but we know that evangelicalism now is not the same as it was 50 years ago. So the task for us as the Grove family will be to explore what does that mean, and how does it encourage deep scholarship, wisdom, and how can we be responsive? And I love that idea of being watchmen and watchwomen of the issues that are going on around the world today. Thankfully, it's not us, and it's not by human standards that we have to measure up to. And in Hebrews 12, it says, I run the race that's set before me with perseverance, with Christ as the perfecter of my faith. We are under such a great cloud of witness in Colin and Trevor and Richard and all those who have come before us. Let us not be worried or anxious about what's going to happen, because we look to Christ as the perfecter of our faith and as the inspiration for the scholarship that we would like to see inspire the world around us. I've got great hopes for the future. I only have the last 45 days, I think, so. And I really hope that as things do unfold, that you feel confident to talk to one another now that you've seen each other, that you've heard each other's stories and read each other's books, and that we can begin to move together wherever we are on the journey. We're all heading for the same destination. Okay, and I think that's the joy of it. So let's meet together throughout that journey let's stay in touch. And hopefully I'll come to visit all of the convening groups in the next year. But thank you very much. Yeah, I was going to say thanks for giving me this opportunity, and they nominated me. None of you chose me. So stuck with me.